Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Japan Station.
Welcome to Japan Station, a production of JapanQ.com. This is the podcast where we teach everything you should know about Japan, plus a few other things. I'm your host, founder of JapanQ.com, and the anime linguist on YouTube, Tony R. Vega. Today you're going to get to hear a conversation that I had with somebody who's walked over 30,000 kilometers in Japan. He's done many long-distance walks, especially in the Western Japan area, including Kansai, Chugoku, Kyushu, Shikoku, and some other islands as well in that general region. But before I tell you who I'm talking to, I want to tell you a little bit about how I ended up discovering this person. So, as some of you may know, I've been walking across Japan since 2023. I started by walking the Tokaido in 2023, so Kyoto to Tokyo. Then I walked from Kyoto to Yamaguchi Prefecture. And then in 2025, I walked from Yamaguchi to Kagoshima. That's 1,400 kilometers. I'm legally blind, so it was quite the journey in 3 segments. But something that I'm going to be doing this year in 2025 is, another walk. So actually, I'm planning on doing 2 things. First, a tandem bicycle ride from the top of Honshu in Aomori down to Tokyo. And then I'm going to do a walk. And currently, the plan is to do a walk from Izumo Taisha Shrine here in Honolulu, because there is a branch of the famous Izumo Taisha Shrine. So I'll walk from Izumo Taisha here to the airport. Then I'm going to walk from Haneda Airport to Shinagawa, because when I walked to Tokaido, I walked through Shinagawa. Then I'm going to take the train down to Hiroshima, and then I'm going to walk some roughly 200 kilometers to Izumo Taisha from Hiroshima Station. And Izumo Taisha is one of the most famous temples in Japan. It's got a very, very interesting history. It's where the gods congregate at the end of November in the modern calendar. The kami, the gods of Japan, they go there to have a little conference. We can talk more about that in another episode of Japan Station. But anyway, this is my idea. Hopefully it will all come together. And, well, I was talking to Declan Summers, the CEO of Mobile. They provide SIM cards and pocket Wi-Fi devices for travelers in Japan. And they sponsored my previous walk. And I have an affiliate link in case you want the voice and data plan, mobile.com/TonyJapan, mobal.com. So he's been a big supporter. Mobile has been a big supporter of what I've been doing. And he reached out to a contact, Rose, who lives in Kobe, but used to be a jet in Shimane Prefecture, because Izumo Taisha is in Shimane Prefecture. So Declan thought maybe Rose might be able to help me. And then Rose put me in touch with my guest today, Jake Davies. So he lives in a remote part of one of the most remote prefectures in Japan, Shimane Prefecture. And he's been walking around this area of West Japan and Kyushu and all these areas that I mentioned, like these islands and Shikoku, for many years now. I think since 20 years now. I think he's got some really interesting stories, and he talks about why he moved to Shimane, his life in this very, very rural part of Japan, and then how he got started walking around Japan. And he tells this really, really interesting story of sleeping outside during a typhoon during one of his walks. And he shares some other experiences that he's had over the many years that he's been walking around Japan. Yeah, I was very excited to get to talk to Jake. He's got some really, really unique experiences in Japan. And he also has a blog. You can find the blog at ojisanjake.com. And in this blog, he documents his journeys. He writes up things that he sees along the way, and he shares pictures that he takes while he's on the road. Oh, also, he's done all of this without a phone. He doesn't rely on Google Maps or anything. He just uses maps and he figures it out. Like, he's a really, really interesting guy, and I would have never have gotten to talk to him if it wasn't for this crazy game of telephone. Like, I talked to Declan from mobile, and then he put me in touch with Rose, and then Rose put me in touch with Jake, and Jake has already started helping me plan my walk from Hiroshima to Izumo Taisha, the shrine, right? Because that is a very rural area, and it's, if I can pull this off, it will end up being, I think, my most challenging walk because of just how rural and mountainous that area is. So I'm going to have to put in quite a bit of time to make sure that I have it all planned out. But anyway, I'll talk more about that on another occasion. For now, though, what you can do to support the show, you can do that right now, is hit the subscribe button on whatever podcast app you use to listen to the show. And if you can leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, that would also be extremely helpful. And the show is also on YouTube at Japankyo News. So if you want to listen on YouTube, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button over there, leave a like, and maybe even a comment. YouTube does not like audio only shows like this, so I'm not getting distributed on YouTube like almost at all. Most of the listeners are here over on the podcast side of things. It's significantly more over here because I've just been doing this for so long now, almost 8 years. But I know some people might prefer to listen over on YouTube, so go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button. That certainly would be welcome. But anyway, let's get into it. Here's my conversation with the amazing Jake Davies.
What took me to Japan was I married Yoko, my Japanese woman.
Mm.
And so I moved to Japan to be with her.
Oh, wonderful.
And she's from Kyoto, so lived a couple of years in Kyoto. But prior to coming to Japan, I've been living in the desert in Arizona for many, many years with no electricity, no running water, nearest neighbor like 10 miles away. So Japan was a big culture shock.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
Kyoto's, pretty urban.
Yeah, so we wanted to move into the countryside. There various connections. We ended up in Shimane.
Wow.
I'd never heard of Shimane, but we came through an NPO that was doing U-turn, what they call I-turn, which is people moving to the countryside. And this NPO helped us find a place and introduced us to people in the community that made everything pretty smooth. So that's why Shimane. There was no. I never ever wanted to come to Japan, and I'd never ever heard of Shimane. It was just pure chance in a sense.
Yeah. Well, Shimane is one of the least populated prefectures in Japan. I think it's like second least or
The second least, yeah.
right? Yeah, I think Tottori next door, right? Is
Yeah,
the least.
yeah.
Yeah. Most people do not go there. And even though I've been across most of Japan, I have yet to be there. So later this year it will be my first time there.
Okay, it's different.
Yeah. I'm very eager to experience it. So you've been there a little over 20 years now in Shimane specifically.
Yeah, 20, 22, 23.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we bought an Akiya, we
Oh.
bought an abandoned house, and I have a huge garden, and we heat with firewood, which I collect. So it was basically aiming towards a self-sufficient lifestyle as possible.
Wow.
Needing little money. That was my aim,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like money.
Well, when you're out in areas like that, you don't have to spend as much money as like being in Tokyo, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so with no rent, no mortgage,
Hmm.
a lot of food input, and then free heat. Your bills are quite small.
Yeah. So tell me about the area that you're in. Is it like a village? Like, are there other people nearby, or is it, quite a ways away till the next house? Like, what's it like?
No, we're in a tiny uh, a hamlet,
Hmm.
So there's about one, two, three, four, maybe 20, 30 households.
Hmm.
And it's on the river, the Gonokawa River, which is the biggest river in West Japan.
Mm.
A beautiful river, but no one knows about it.
Hmm.
And it's a dead end. You come into the village and you go out of the village. You can't go through the village, so we have no traffic.
Hmm.
So and our place, literally outside my window, is forest and monkeys and wild boars, and but in front of me is half a dozen houses. So
And what about like the nearest store? Like, how far is that?
well, actually, we have a combini. A combini opened about 10 years ago,
Nice. Okay.
and it's 200 yards away.
Oh, hey, all right. You lucked
but
out there.
but the way I used to tell people about our place was there's no fast food place, no
Uh-huh.
combini, no pachinko parlors. There's none of the things that you would associate with normal Japan.
Yeah. And then you got a combini.
But yeah, and now we've got a combini, but it closes at 10.
Okay, okay. Uh, wow. Okay. But like, I mean, to get to the nearest, like, bigger supermarket and all that, I guess you do have to drive, right?
Um, yeah, we have 4 buses a day,
Okay. All right. It's
but
something.
my wife drives.
Okay.
But across the river, a kilometer away, there's a small JA supermarket, but it's very, very expensive.
Oh,
Gotsu is the city or town on the coast, which is 15 kilometers away. So that's where the bank and the big supermarkets and everything else is.
gotcha. Okay. All right. So yeah, it is 15 kilometers. That's a few hours walking.
Yeah, well, now three.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I've walked it many times.
That doesn't surprise me.
Usually in the middle of the night
Oh wow, okay.
to
Huh.
catch the early train.
And do you run into, some animals or something at that hour?
Um, yeah, yes, yeah, somewhat,
Yeah.
but I
Uh,
like animals.
yeah, yeah. And I guess, they mostly just scurry off if they hear or
Oh
see
yeah,
coming. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I mean, in your walking around Japan, have you not encountered troops of monkeys?
I have not. No, I have mainly stuck to, like, I've been through some fairly rural areas, but Shimane is going to be, more rural than probably any area that
Well,
I've walked through.
Kyushu, just about everywhere I've been. If you're walking along a river
Hmm.
at around sunrise, you will often bump into a whole troop of monkeys
Oh
coming
wow.
down coming
Okay.
down to the river. So yeah, I've seen that lots of times. Not just Shimane.
Oh, okay, okay.
Shimane, they run all over my house. I mean, I can sit, open the door and watch families of monkeys playing and babies on their mama's
Wow.
back, and then watch a fight between two males, and it's a bit like a nature documentary.
Yeah, I mean that's like a free nature documentary right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. The only thing is they steal from my garden. So
That's what I was gonna ask you. Yeah, I assume you must grow stuff, but you got to deal with the monkeys, right?
well, monkeys, wild boar, civets, palm civets, but no deer, no rabbits.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Most of Japan has a problem with deer, but there's
yeah.
there's there's almost no deer in Shimane.
Oh. And like, how do you deal? Do you have like nets or something? Like,
Oh
how do
yeah,
you
yeah,
protect?
yeah.
Okay,
Fences and nets. I
gotcha.
mean, it's kind of sad that when we came here, people's gardens weren't fenced, and then gradually they've started to fence them, and now they're completely enclosed in netting
Oh,
because the depopulation, there's not enough people around.
yeah, yeah,
So in the old days, people would be out and about working around the village and the critters would stay away. But now there's so few people and they stay inside watching TV.
yeah. I mean, that's yeah, a thing going around, pretty much all of Japan. Like the animals are coming out to areas where they, you know, before they didn't come out, right?
Yes, yes, it's called the Satoyama.
Oh, okay.
Satoyama is the edge where
Hmm.
the villagers would use for picking food, collecting firewood, getting fertilizer. So there was like a boundary area between the village and the deep forest called Satoyama.
Oh,
And
okay.
that supplied a lot of the needs for the village, but now nobody uses it. And that's
Oh,
why the animals have come into the villages.
yeah. Huh. No, I mean, this is super interesting and something that a lot of people are talking about depopulation and all that. So it's very interesting to hear from somebody who, for example, like the Akiya thing, like in the past 10 years, you've heard there's been a lot of people from
Oh
outside of
yeah.
Japan going to Japan. Oh, we got an Akiya, we remodeled it, and they put it online on YouTube and all that stuff. But you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah, yeah, did that 25 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is so interesting. But what about all the like walking stuff? Like how did all I mean, it seems like you enjoy being out in nature and all that, but when did you start exploring and doing that and documenting all of that?
Well, in Japan,
Yeah.
okay. When I moved to Shimane,
Hmm.
I had to learn about the place
Hmm.
so I could live here, so I had to learn about the geology, the geography, the climate, the natural history, the human history. I had to learn about the place, and so I'd walk around, and I found that shrines contained stories. Local shrines would all have stories connected to that place, and so I started to go further and further afield, but go from shrine to shrine to shrine and learn what I could. And I pretty much covered from my area into all of Shimane over a couple of years.
Hmm.
And then I started to do pilgrimages.
Right.
I started with the Shikoku Ohenro, the famous one,
Right.
because they they structured the walks. They gave a route to follow, and the police were less likely to hassle me.
Exactly. Yeah. They're used to people just walking
And
in the middle of nowhere.
when people meet you, they know what you're doing. They know you're walking a pilgrimage, and so
Exactly.
they're not so afraid of you. And you know, so that was why I started doing pilgrimages
So around when was it that you did the Ohenro in Shikoku? Like what,
about
like 20 years ago ish? Yeah.
2011,
Okay.
and then I just did all the pilgrimages in West Japan. So I've pretty much walked everywhere in West Japan. So that's Kansai, Chugoku, Shikoku, Kyushu.
Wow. And like for example, the Yohendra in Shikoku, like how long did that take you?
Oh, that was the 45 days.
45 days. Oh wow. Okay. So
But I did that in sections.
okay.
So I'd walk for a couple of weeks and then come back because I have a garden to look after and a wife
Sure.
and part-time jobs. So
Hmm.
so I would do a bunch of sections.
Yeah,
The
good.
longest one was
Uh-huh.
Kyushu. That was 2,500 kilometers.
Wow. Okay, so from where to where was that?
That was a circuit. It literally completely encircled the island,
Whew.
and that took 78 days.
78 days, 2,500 kilometers. Okay. Wow. Well, I'm a slow walker, but you're a fast walker.
Um, Sometimes
Yeah.
now I'm a lot slower.
Well, that happens, but like what's your average on a day?
Now,
Huh?
because I mean I'm 72, so
Woo! Wow.
I've slowed right
I mean,
down.
you're still walking around and all that. I mean, that's amazing.
So I mean, if I do 20 kilometers,
Uh-huh.
that's a good day.
Okay.
Whereas 10 years ago, I could do 30,
Okay.
but there's no real hurry.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 You start to hurry. Sometimes you mess up, and sometimes you fall or whatever. Like stuff like that happens. So
Well, if you start hurrying, you might as well take a car.
true, I guess. Although fast walking is still significantly slower than a car.
Well, I know people, especially on the Shikoku Ohenro, people go, "Oh, I did it in 38 days." It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's a race or something. But
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
for me, the pilgrimage is it wasn't the temples that were important. It was the space between the temples.
Very well
That's
put.
where I learned the things that of most interest. Just the places people don't go, the places even Japanese people would never think of going.
Mhm.
So those are the places that I like to walk, and that's where I learn the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still a learning experience.
No, absolutely. And it's when you're walking around, especially like these more rural areas, and sometimes you don't exactly know what to expect. You have a general idea, and you stumble across some very
Oh yes,
interesting places,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely. I mean, one of the greatest pleasures is to stumble upon a matsuri,
Oh, that's happened to me. Yeah.
a village festival. Yeah, it's happened to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in Onomichi
Okay.
in Hiroshima,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they were carrying around the omikoshi, and all the music was going on. And I was like, oh, hey, good timing. I managed to arrive just in time to check this out.
Yeah, yeah. If you turn up in a village where there's no tourists, then
Oh,
then you're treated like an honored guest
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
showered with booze and food.
Yeah, yeah. Of all the places you can, why are you here? It's like, well, coincidence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, like for example, like when you're doing some of these walks, I mean, I'm sure it depends on the area and all that, but like where are you staying? You told me it seems like, and sometimes you're staying outside, but like, can you tell me a little bit about how you plan these and what you do?
Well, sometimes if I can find really cheap accommodations, so I've stayed in a few places for 3,000 yen, including breakfast,
Mhm.
and less. I've found some places even less than that. So places like that, I'll stay indoors. Occasionally, I'll have to stay in a hotel just because of the weather and because I need a shower and stuff.
Mhm.
But if I can, I like to sleep out.
Mhm.
It's not camping.
Mhm.
It's what the Japanese call nojuku.
Yeah.
It's just sleeping out because then it doesn't matter. I'm not on a timetable.
Right.
Pretty much you can put your head down just about anywhere really. Because I think in the West they on YouTube they call it stealth camping.
Uh-huh.
So once it gets dark, you lay down, sleep, and get up before it's light and move on. No one knows you've ever been there.
Yeah.
And
So,
I like sleeping outside again because of my time in the desert,
mhm.
where I literally lived outside a lot of the time.
Wow.
I love sleeping under the stars.
Wow, wow, wow. So do you just pack a some kind of sleeping bag and just carry
And
that with you?
a bivy sack.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with that. What's the difference?
It's a waterproof bag
Gotcha. Okay.
that you put the sleeping bag in,
Hmm.
and under bridges,
Hmm.
uh, in the shelters in parks,
Hmm.
even bus shelters. Sometimes if the weather's bad,
Hmm.
so there's usually somewhere to sleep,
Hmm. Hmm. Have
even in cities.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can find a place, but has anybody ever approached you or in the morning was somebody like waiting for you there?
No, I'm usually up and gone. I
Okay.
mean,
Wow.
the route you're going,
Uh-huh.
the first time I walked that route down the He River,
Uh-huh.
I went to a tiny little park above a shrine, and that's where I was going to sleep the night. And then a man and his dog and his son came up, and we chatted for 10 minutes, no problem.
Yeah.
They didn't mind.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Well,
I've never had a problem.
oh, that's great. That's great. I mean, clearly you're doing these pilgrimages and all that stuff. So, people get it. I'm sure that guy goes, "Oh, wow, that's really interesting that you're doing that. I would never do that myself." Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
Oh, wow. Um, so going back to the Shikoku Ohenro, so that was you said 75 days. Like I usually do around 20 kilometers, and like when I did the math in my head, like it was for me it would have taken like probably like around 3 months, and you did it in like a month and a half. So that's pretty impressive. But I
I
guess
think
you were
that's pretty normal, I think. They say, between 38 and 50 days.
okay. Okay, so that's a little bit less than I thought it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Um.
like I say, I tend to, once I got into it, I actually made a little bit of money by taking photos and writing
Oh, nice.
uh, uh, for a website. And so then I would take detours.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
If there was something interesting along the way, I'd go off the route.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of the pilgrimages in Japan don't actually have a route anymore.
Yeah,
They're either new pilgrimages or the old pilgrimages, but there's very little of the old routes left. It's all modern roads. And so
exactly.
you have to pick your own route like you're doing. I mean,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're doing is a pilgrimage.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I did the Tokaido, right? And although that's not like a religious pilgrimage, that is the old route that people used to walk and, go back and forth. Um, in my case, like I can't really see the street signs and all that. So I'm just going, trying to stick to roughly the Tokaido and going along, as much as I
Right.
can and along the general route.
Yeah. But basically you have to what you're going to be doing and what I did was find your own route. So
Yeah.
I would study maps before I left because I don't have a smartphone.
Hmm.
So I can't be connected to Google Maps all the time. So
Right.
I study maps beforehand and see what's going to be the easiest into I don't like climbing. I really don't.
Uh-huh.
But in Japan you have to.
There's a whole lot of climbing. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
in Shimane, right?
Well, everywhere. You're either walking the coast,
Yeah.
walking up and down rivers,
Yep.
or you're crossing over a pass to the next river.
Yeah, and a lot of prefectural boundaries are either marked by a river or mountains. Like pretty much it's like, oh, here's the mountains. Maybe I guess I'm crossing over from this prefecture to the other. Like that's
Yes, a lot of the prefectural borders will follow the high point, the ridge,
yeah.
especially here in Chugoku. So the borders between the prefectures follow the highest point of the Chugoku Mountains.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's
So yeah,
well
so like like I look at maps and study and try to figure out which is the best way to go.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
Again, like you, a couple of times I've been on roads that There's absolutely no sidewalk
Yep.
and
Yeah.
a lot of heavy, fast traffic.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I've actually given up and it's just too dangerous.
Yeah.
And there is no other possible route.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've printed out Google Maps and the roads that Google Maps says exist don't exist.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been in those situations. Yeah.
Several times I've had to backtrack
Yep.
a good few hours, but that's all part of it.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. And you just deal with it and eventually you get to your destination. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you're always going to get there.
exactly. Yeah. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Japan and I need to make a phone call. What am I gonna do? Well, if you had the voice and data plan from mobile, MOBAL, you wouldn't be in trouble because you'd have a Japanese phone number and you'd be able to make that phone call. Maybe you need to call ahead to your lodging. Maybe you need to, I don't know, call for help. Whatever the case may be, there are occasions when you're traveling in Japan and you need a phone number. Well, the mobile voice and data plan fixes that problem. And if you use my affiliate link to sign up, you get 10% off. So we all win. You get a phone number, you get data, and I get a little something to keep this show going. So mobal.com/Tony Japan is where you need to go to get that discount. And of course, there's a link down in the show notes as well. Have you had let's see, like any interesting experiences, unexpected things? I'm sure you have, but anything that comes to mind?
Um,
Interesting encounters with people, or I don't know. There's always people around that's like, oh hi, or they give you stuff, or I don't know, they help you out in some way.
yeah. People are usually generally kind, but basically, you actually meet very few people. Again, a lot of the
Most
roads
of the time,
I'm
yeah,
on, maybe
yeah,
there's 3 or 4 cars a day.
yeah, yeah.
So mountain roads, and in the countryside, the only time you see people is if you're passing their property and they're working in their garden.
Right,
People don't walk in Japan.
right.
You
Well,
don't.
outside of the city, they don't walk.
Yeah. You don't bump in. Seeing someone else walking along the road is a huge social occasion.
Yes, it is. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But stories,
Mm.
perhaps one the most dramatic was when I was on the Shikoku, the first leg, the first time I started, the first 2 weeks, I got stuck in a typhoon.
Oh wow, okay. How?
And
Where were you? Were you sleeping outside?
yes,
Oh my,
but not sleeping.
not sleeping.
But it was. I mean, I like dramatic weather. I
Uh huh.
mean, I enjoy storms.
Uh huh.
So it was fascinating, but I did the calculations afterwards. It was say compared to my hometown, it was 2 years worth of rain in one day.
Oh wow.
It was an amazing experience, and I got rescued. I didn't need to be rescued. I didn't want to be rescued, but some the guys who check the roads, who drive along with the flashing lights, checking for
Hmm.
fallen trees and stuff,
Yeah.
they found me and they called, and a fire engine came 500 meters from the village
Whoa.
and took me to the community center. So I had a dry place to sleep for the next night. And then the next day, when I started walking down the river, all the people, the next village down, all the people were emptying their houses, all their furniture and tatami out onto the street because the village had flooded.
Oh,
So that was kind of cool.
that is a heck of an experience there. Yeah.
And road closed.
Oh,
You know, you come across a lot of road closed signs and barriers.
because of
And
like landslides and stuff like that.
Yes, and sometimes roadworks, but whenever I
Okay.
find them, I always walk through them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I always take the attitude that if I get into trouble, I can say I didn't understand. And only twice have I ever had a problem with doing that. So it's like
Uh-huh.
95 out of 100 times, it's just a couple of rocks have fallen, and so they can't allow cars through,
Right,
but
right, right.
you can keep walking. But one time, I was walking down the river, again, this was the Kanda River, the one that goes to Izumo Taisha.
Oh, okay.
This was my first long distance hike when I moved to Shimane. I was going to Izumo Taisha for Kamiyarizuki. Do you know Kamiyarizuki?
That is so there's the month where there's no gods. That is November, I think, right?
Yes. So that's the time you're arriving.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I was like, oh, the gods aren't going to be there when I arrive
No,
in
no, no,
November.
no. They're going to be in
Oh,
Izumo, but not
oh,
anywhere else.
oh, gotcha. That's when they are there. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But what
It's
about Kamiyari Yuzuki?
in the rest
Is
of
that November
Japan.
then? Or is that
Yes. It's
okay?
on
So
the, well, it's the 10th day of the 10th month according to the lunar calendar.
gotcha. Okay. So
So,
yeah, so that turns out to be November in the modern.
yes, but it varies. The date varies. So, if I was you, I'd check because if you arrive there at the
like
peak,
too
at the
early.
start of it,
Yeah.
there won't be any hotel rooms.
Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna check on that. Thank you for that reminder.
But that whole period of time, there's a lot of stuff going on,
Hmm.
and it's an interesting time. Anyway, I was doing a 3 day walk down the Kanda River to go to Izumo Taisha, and road closed. So I kept walking, and then on each side of the river, everything was clear cut.
Uh-huh.
All the trees had been cut down. And I keep going, and I came to where they were building a dam.
Whoa.
It was a sea of mud, and they were building a huge tunnel, the first tunnel to flow the water through.
Uh-huh.
So some worker came over in a pickup truck, and I told him what I was doing. He goes, "Oh, you have a Japanese heart," and he drove me around the construction site and up on the other side.
Right, right, right.
But every other time, it's not. If you see a no entry sign, just walk it. It's just going to be a couple of rocks.
And there's tons of construction, like even in pretty rural areas. Like I've run into, active construction or road work, and usually there's a little space onto the side, and
Yeah,
the people there will tell you, oh, can you please go here? And then they'll walk me through that little area. So yeah, usually, unless there's like dam construction,
yeah.
usually you
That was
can't
a
walk around
biggie.
it. What about like maybe it'll be hard to pick, but could you say like maybe one or two of your favorite walks that you've done?
Um, when people ask me my favorite places in Japan, I come up with three sites: the Oki Islands,
Oh, where's that?
just off Shimane,
Nice. Okay.
and the biggest island, Dogo. It took about three. It took 3 days to. It's 100 kilometers, so about 3 days to walk around the whole island. But I love Dogo. I love the Oki Islands. The food is beautiful, and the sea is like Okinawa.
Oh,
It's
okay.
and people go there for diving and fishing.
Is it
So that's
it's
one
so
place.
it's fairly easy to get there. I guess there's like a ferry or
There's,
something.
there is planes, but there's also high speed ferries and slow
Okay.
ferries.
Nice, nice. Okay.
The other place is another island, Shodoshima.
Ah, I've heard of Shodoshima. Yeah.
Shodoshima is between Shikoku and uh, I guess Hyogo and Okayama.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, Beautiful, beautiful island. They have a pilgrimage route that
Oh.
takes about 8 days,
Oh. Okay.
and lots of cave temples.
Oh.
So the temples are built into caves. So the weather's really good on Shodoshima.
Mhm.
Uh, People are real friendly. It's a real nice place.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one would be Kunisaki Peninsula, which is Oita.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's known as the land that time forgot.
Oh, wow.
It's again it's a big Shugendo area. It was
Uh,
and again filled with temples and strange rock formations. So each of those, I've walked around Kunisaki several times. That's one of my
how
favorite
how
places.
big is that area? Like, how long was the route that you took?
Um, North to it's a circular peninsula
Mm-hmm.
with a high point in the middle. So it's a volcano
Mm-hmm.
basically, and there's 28 valleys that radiate out from the center. So it's there is they've now built a trail that I think takes about 14 days to walk around the whole peninsula, zigzagging. Then that follows an old Shugendo trail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's another one of those areas that people don't go to,
Yeah.
and that's why it's nice. I like Kyushu.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah.
Shikoku.
Yeah. 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 Like I've been to Oita, but like the main areas, like the Jigoku, the onsen kind of area and all that, but I
Uh-huh.
haven't been to Kunisaki. So now you got me curious.
Yeah. No, Oita, inland in Oita. There's some nice cliff carvings. A lot of cliff carvings.
Okay. Huh. Do you ever like take people out on tours or anything like that?
I I used to.
Okay.
I worked with a California company that was primarily they were Japanese Americans,
Oh, okay, okay.
and we covered Shimane, and they sent me a bunch of private customers, but I did it privately a few times,
Gotcha.
but not much.
Okay,
Like I
okay.
say, mostly I wrote guides for areas all over Japan for a website.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
now you do your own blog, right?
well, yes, because I do a post every day, somewhere
Mhm.
between 10 and 20 photos with notes, and I reckon I'm about a third of the way through my material. So
Oh,
it's taken me 10 years to do a third. So
yeah.
I've got to crank up the speed a little if I'm going to get it all done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's ojisanjake.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And you
it's
you
it's
have
primarily photos.
yeah, it's photos and short descriptions. I was looking through it and it's so nice in that like this is the kind of stuff that I come across like, oh look, it's a little group of houses here. I wonder who used to live here. Oh look, these houses. Oh look, everything is closed. Like I remember seeing this like all across different areas of Japan, and this is like just this is real Japan, right? This is like so much of Japan is like this, and so if you're curious, check out the articles and you get to see little, snapshots, like little snapshots and little descriptions of Jake's explorations around Japan.
No, yeah, I mean my fascination is with the diversity of Japan.
Mhm.
That Japan sells itself as a monolithic people and culture, but in actual fact, it's very, very diverse. So whenever I go, I'm always looking for what's different here,
Mhm.
what's unique about this temple that other temples don't have,
Mhm.
and that's the common theme is I'm looking for diversity. The things that nowadays, things like the Koma Inu statues at shrines or the Neo Guardians at temples, they're all exactly the same. They're all
Yeah.
done on one standard pattern. But if you go looking, just crossing onto the other side of a river, they have a different culture
Yes.
historically. So that's what I look for.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's the same thing with like the dialects. It's you just cross the river and like, oh well, they sound different.
Oh man, the Okuizimo where you're going through, uh, I one the first time I was walking through there, chatting with some old guy, I didn't understand a word he said. Real thick, strong dialect.
Uh-huh.
So yes, those things still exist, but they're not going to exist much
Yeah,
longer.
exactly. Yeah, it is definitely diminishing and fading. Since you live in Shimane and all that, can you tell us a little bit about some things or something that makes Shimane distinct in its own makes it its own identity, I guess you could say.
Well, again, Shimane is a modern invention.
Hmm.
Shimane was three provinces: Iwami, Izumo, and the Oki Islands,
Mm,
and they're each quite distinct. So I don't say I'm from Shimane; I say I'm from Iwami,
okay.
and Iwami is unusual. It's the back end of nowhere, and there's not a lot of plains, so there was no major rice growing. So it's been pretty much left alone,
Wow.
uh, and so we have a kind of kagura, which is a kind of Shinto dance. We have a shamanic kagura
Hmm.
that used to be common all over Japan until 1868 when the new government outlawed it.
Mm,
And the county I live in is the only place in all of Japan where it's still practiced
wow.
because we were so far away from all the political centers, from the gaze of the politicians that they just carried on and no one cared.
Right.
And Iwami also has the silver mine.
Oh, really?
It was producing 1/3 of all the silver in the world.
Whoa.
The area you're going through, once you cross over from Hiroshima and you start going down the Hi River
Hmm.
into Okuizimo, that's the home of the Japanese sword.
Oh.
That's where all the a special kind of iron, and that area is now the only place in the world where you can get this kind of iron for making the swords. But historically, it was the major iron production area of Japan. So that's worth looking into as you pass through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you get to Shimane, as you're going up in Hiroshima, you go around a mountain called Mount Hiba. That's the highest point where you are.
Hmm.
You should watch out for the Hibagon.
Oh, that's the it's kind of like a Bigfoot kind of,
Yes, yes,
right?
the Japanese Bigfoot.
Oh, wow. So I'm gonna be going through that area. I had no idea.
Yes, yes, you're walking right through his territory.
Oh my goodness. All right. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to look him up a little bit and see. Is there anything I can do to scare him off?
Uh, Actually, he hasn't been seen for about 30 years.
Okay. Okay. So hopefully I don't
So, but
attract him.
but they still like to talk about it.
Sure. 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 Yeah. 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 Oh, geez. Well, thank you for that information. I did not know that. Oh, wow. Okay. Um, yeah, no, do you have any like upcoming plans for a walk? Like, are you planning any thinking
Well,
of anything?
in November, I've my two big walks have been of doing the Japan Sea coast,
Right.
but trying to go into every single little cove, not walking as quickly as I can. I actually trying to do a deep
Mhm.
exploration of all the tiny little fishing coves and fishing harbors.
Hmm.
and that's been more than 60 days so far.
Yeah.
And I've gotten as far as Kyoto Prefecture
Oh wow. Okay.
from Shimonoseki.
Oh yeah. Basically, yeah. All along from the
Yes,
western end of the Honshu. You've
Honshu, yes.
yeah.
So I'd
Wow.
like to go further, but the problem is it's too far away.
Well,
It's too expensive to get there, to
exactly. Yeah.
carry on walking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other walk I'm doing right now is the Gonokawa River.
Oh, that's
I
the
walked,
biggest river that you mentioned, right? That's the
yes,
western.
I walked up the river
Mhm.
through Miyoshi, where you're going to be. You're going to be following the Gonokawa River for a day or two.
Okay.
And now I'm walking down the river on the opposite bank.
Okay.
So I'm going to go up to Miyoshi sometime in a couple of weeks and spend 3, 4 days walking down the river before mosquito season.
Right. 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 And for food, do you just buy stuff in the morning? Like, what do you do about food?
um, it depends. I carry a couple of days worth of stuff so that if there are no a lot of places there are no conveniences, there are no
Right.
shops, you know.
Yeah.
So for a couple of days you need to be. That's why the route I suggested for you, you can get back to a hotel and a conveni every day,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you know, so then you don't have to worry about it. But I
Exactly.
carry I carry stuff,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
and then hopefully come across something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always nice when you just happen to it's like go, oh hey, I was in the mood to, you know, get something other than what I have on me. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
good story. Yeah.
Well, one way of classifying the Japanese countryside for me
Uh-huh.
is distance between vending machines.
Yeah.
So you can go 15 kilometers without passing a vending machine.
Hmm.
So one time in Shikoku, because I don't have a phone, I was needing to find a public payphone to try and book a room for the night. And I literally walked 20 kilometers without passing a payphone.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And they're nowadays, you know, they're even less.
Yes, much less nowadays.
Yeah, yeah,
The,
yeah.
the only place you can find a phone is at the entrance to a tunnel.
What? To a tunnel?
Most
Really?
tunnels, most tunnels will have a public phone box just in front of the entrance.
I guess in case a car breaks down or something like that.
I guess
In case of
there's,
an
there's
emergency.
emergency phones in the tunnels, but
Yeah, yeah.
on either side of the entrance of big tunnels, there's always a phone, and railway stations.
I was going to mention that. I've noticed that a lot of, I don't know if a lot is the right word, but I've noticed it repeatedly. The rural train stations, it's not uncommon to have a little a little phone booth, you know, in front of the rural train
Yes,
stations.
yes.
They're still even now.
So you can call a taxi.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, there's not other. You know, you get to the train stations, like you're still gonna be walking, you know, 5-10 kilometers maybe to your home.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, people should check out your blog if they want to, you know, keep up with your travels and see, you know, all the different areas that you've been through. Anything else? Do you have a mailing list? I think you have a mailing list, right?
Yeah. If you leave an email address
Mm-hmm.
on the comments, it won't get published. No one will see it. I'll
Okay.
add you to my mailing list. I say I post pretty much every day,
Mm-hmm.
and then twice a month I send out a newsletter of what I've been posting
Great. Great.
with
Great.
links.
Okay, so yeah, so if people are curious and they want to keep up with you, go check that out. I'll include the links in the show notes in the blog post for this episode. Thank you so much, Jake. I'm so happy I got to talk to you. But of course, we're gonna be keeping in touch once I get my schedule and all that down. I'll let you know because
Yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
it,
Like I say,
I'm not the expert on that area, so I will
there's
yeah.
someone in Okuizimo who could be of great assistance to you. So
Great.
I'll give
I
you
would
his
appreciate
email
that.
address.
Okay. So, yeah, so I will be in touch. And, but that's it for the episode. So thank you, Jake.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Japan Station is made possible in part by amazing people like you. If you'd like to make sure that I can keep bringing you more content about Japan, the Japanese culture, and the Japanese language, then consider joining the Patreon over at japankyo.com/Patreon. You can join for as little as $1 a month, and that will get you early access to episodes, plus ad-free versions. I also take one-time donations over on Ko-fi, Venmo, and PayPal. Links are down below.